Hello everyone, welcome to YourPedia and this is Shubhya. So this video is for all the ones who are preparing for CPCB. And here through this video, I'm going to address some of the very important HR questions. The complete document is already there on YourPedia panel. You can just go to the panel, go to the download section and you can download the entire document. Now very first here I'm going to address some PYQs, that is some questions which are obviously asked in the interviews. And very prominently I would say that they start with your introduction. Multiple times they start, just introduce yourself, tell us something about yourself, tell us something which you have not written in your DF, or they just start asking about your travel journey just to make you comfortable at the very initial space. Obviously you don't have to mention about your name, but here I'm going to tell you about the brief structure about how you need to introduce yourself. It starts with the way you greet everyone. Good morning everyone. Then I am, you don't have to mention about your name obviously, so you can skip this line. Then I come from city or I hail from city. Don't start explaining about your city. The introduction should be all about you. Briefly you just tell about the name of your city. Then about your academics, focus on basically the current whatever you have just passed, maybe a grad, maybe a post-grad. If you have got any scholarship, then you can address about your academics and the schooling or something. Then about your recent professional growth, if you have just carried some of the achievements. So there is a complete structural video also of introduction. Also you can start either in the ascending order or in the descending order. The choice is up to you. Always end your introduction in the direction where you want your interviewer should ask you the very next question. That was about the very first question. About your greatest strengths, try to match the strengths which are, I would say, aligning with the roles and responsibilities you are going to perform in the organization. So here briefly we have tried to address all of the, you can say, questions in a brief pointers about your strength, about your weakness, where do you see yourself in next 5 years. The reason they ask you this question is particularly because they want to know your approach, your mission and vision in the life, and your mission and vision which aligns with the organization too. Because your growth, your progression with the organization, it could be judged only with your liners which you speak. So interview is entirely about your personality. How do you handle stress and pressure? It is particularly about the logical answers. You go for a deep, you can say long walk, you start listening to motivational podcast, you start writing your tasks. So it is your personal choice. It showcases you're very confident and try to put up your answers in the logical sequence. Why do you want to work with the organization? It should be about your progressional career, about the work environment, about the, you can say, the core opportunities you are targeting in the organization, working with the best minds of people, and lots of good pointers which you can address. Do not start answering all the things in one question, because even that showcases your rote mortification. How do you define success? What motivates you? These are some of the, you can say, generic answers. How do you stay updated with environmental regulations and scientific advancements? So here from this side, I have started addressing some of the questions which are very much aligned with your organization. You discover a discrepancy in environment monitoring data. How do you proceed? A local industry is non-compliant with emission standards. What steps would you recommend? How do you handle a situation where a senior colleague's scientific approach conflicts with yours? Now see, every time when such questions are being there, some answers are there, you have to add your own pointers in this take, then there will be a good personalized and a subjective answers prepared for you. Like someone is struggling with a technical task, how would you assist him? How do you ensure accuracy and integrity in your scientific work? What does ethical conduct mean to you in a scientific research environment? How do you handle confidential information? How do you ensure accountability in your work? About your objectivity in your scientific assessments, and lots of, see, there are lots of questions when it is about this organizational, right? Balancing, describing your team ideal environment. You know why they ask you such theoretical or some abstract questions? Like what is your role in a team? How would you describe that? How important is teamwork, environmental protection, this act and all that? What are your long-term career aspirations? What excites you about the Scientist B position of CPCB at CPCB? What do you hope to learn and achieve in this role? Basically, they are targeting your inner skills, your personality traits. Like whenever you're going for any particular question, remember, the moment I speak, it tells me a lot about myself. You just ask me about your introduction, you give a very structured answer. The moment I ask about your family background, you just say that, okay, my mama does this, my father does this, my brother does this, my sister does this, and then there is no structured answer. So you see, there they guess it out कि introduction तो prepare करके आए थे, family introduction prepare नहीं की थी, तो जो questions prepare किए होते हैं वो बहुत systematically answer देते हो. इसीलिए they in the HR, it is what you speak, the next question gets pulled from that particular direction. So remember to practice the HR questions very particularly. There are certain HR questions that are based on your personality traits, certain based particularly on the organization, some about the, you can say, organizational roles and responsibilities, some abstract questions, behavioral questions, and lots more. Last, remember that do you have any questions for us? Like you can give an example. Absolutely, I want to ask, what are some of the key environmental challenges CPCB expects to focus on in next 3 to 5 years, and how might a scientist B contribute directly to those efforts? Like, always be ready with the thoughtful questions. It is not that you have to rote modify each and everything, but I tell you, once you go through this document, then you just stand in front of the mirror, start practicing each question with your main, you can say, where you are portraying your some of the subjective answers, combining with the skeleton which is being provided to you. You are going to give basically very good impression in front of the interview. Start preparing right now, download the documentation, and then attend as many snaps as you can. The reason is, once you simulate, you practice, your anxiety is going to go down and your confidence is going to build to the max. So all the best, guys. See you soon in the snap sessions. All the best and take care. Have a good day, guys. Bye bye.